Happy Wednesday. Chicago Bears Now is presented by Roan. And listen, maybe you're on a date tonight. Hopefully you're rocking Roan for Valentine's Day. And if not, hey, go upgrade your wardrobe today. Go check out Roan right now. Roan.com/chatsports. Get you 20% off. My name is Harrison Graham, and on today's show, we're going to react to Kevin Warren's sit-down interview with Jarrett Payton, who does TV work with WGN. Of course, the son of the late, great Walter Payton. Fascinating interview. I've linked the full interview in the description and comments of this video if you want to go watch and check it out for yourself. I'm going to be reacting to it, react to some of the quotes, so stick with us here, and then, of course, go check out that interview. Before we dive in here, last chance. Tomorrow is the day. We were going to do it Monday, but an extension here on Thursday's live show. So if you're watching on Wednesday or Thursday morning, once we go live, 4 o'clock Central Time on Thursday, I'm going to react to some of your mock drafts. So to enter, follow me on Instagram, @HGramNFL, and then screenshot your mock drafts, whether you do it via PFF, PFN, or other mock draft simulators. That is the easiest way for us to get those mock drafts on screen. So if you want to get your Bears mock drafts in, go run one, send me a DM. Be sure you're following me @HGramNFL. All right, let's react to Kevin Warren's interview with Jarrett Payton. He had some thoughts on Justin Fields. That's where we'll kick things off here, and we'll kind of react to the quotes after we read them here. Here's what Warren had to say about the Bears' current quarterback. He says, "I'm a supporter of Justin. He's incredibly talented. He is smart. He works hard. He wants to be a great NFL football player. He just needs to make sure that he has the support around him. He's working hard. Justin has a rare combination of intelligence, size, strength, and speed. You forget how big of a man he is until you're up on him. He's not a small man. I just think every year he's going to continually get better, so I'm glad he's on the Chicago Bears." And my two main takeaways from this quote here from Kevin Warren on Justin Fields is the first part especially of he needs the support around him. So does he think there's not enough support about him? Because that's obviously been a lot of the talking points his first 3 years is, well, the Bears haven't done enough by him. And certainly the first 2 years that was true. It was definitely still true to an extent this year. I don't think Luke Getsy was a good fit. They haven't had enough quality receivers. DJ Moore's great, but after that, it's been eh. So that's an interesting part of this. And then he believes he's going to continue to get better. And he said, "I'm glad he's on the Bears." And I think that is somewhat significant. Here's what I'll say, and I've thought this for a while, and the evidence is there to support. The Bears really like Justin Fields. Matt Eberflus likes him a lot. I believe Ryan Poles likes him a lot. Kevin Warren likes him a lot. He talked about his days back in the Big Ten of getting to know Justin, and he liked him then as well. So I don't think there's any doubt that the Bears feel strongly about Fields as a person and as a player, and there are a lot of reasons to like him. Like, his work ethic is top-notch. I mean, you see all this stuff in the offseason. He's going in for 6 a.m. workouts, doing all this stuff. He's a great leader. He's beloved by his teammates. I don't think it's out of bounds to say that at all. I mean, how many of his teammates are going public with, we want him to be here? He's an elite running quarterback. I do think he's growing as a passer. Is it to where it needs to be? Probably not. It's still a little inconsistent, but if you told me that he would get to an elite level passer, I think it would make this decision easier. I just think it's a bit of an unknown, and I do want to make it clear that if the Bears draft a quarterback, it's not because they don't like Justin Fields. It's because they really like one of these prospects, and they feel like one of these prospects, which there are some good ones, give the Bears a better chance to reach the ultimate goal, which is a Super Bowl. I think they really like Caleb Williams. That's my top guy. That's been all the chatter. But I don't know for sure. It is smokescreen season. I don't think a final decision has been made. I've made that very clear as well. I don't think a final decision can be made until at least after the Combine. So we'll see how it continues to play out. But I do think it's worth mentioning again and again that the Bears really do like Justin. And like it would be easier if they didn't love his work ethic, or if there was questionable stuff about him off the field, because then you can say, well, he's not the best teammate, plus he's an inconsistent player, so okay, it's an easy decision. But he's a beloved teammate, a great leader, and a pretty good player as well. So that is what makes this decision so fascinating for the Bears front office. Now, will the Bears keep or trade Justin Fields? What do you think? Type K for keep or T for trade. Get your votes in right now in the comment section below. Next up on our Kevin Warren interview reaction is him talking about his collaboration with Ryan Poles. They have offices right next to each other at Hallis Hall. It's a good working relationship. We'll dive into that here in just a moment, but do want to tell you a little bit more about our sponsor first. That is Roan. I've been partnered up with Roan for almost a couple of years now, and I'm a big fan of their clothing products. I have several of their dress shirts. I like rotating through their golf polos, and what Roan did is they stepped up to the plate of really upgrading men's closets because they were due for a reinvention. And what Roan has done with their commuter collection, which offers the most comfortable, breathable, and flexible set of products known to man, is they give you products for every scenario possible. If you need to go to a business meeting, they've got nice clothes for that. If you want to keep it more casual, if you're going out for drinks or to the golf course, you've got clothes for that as well. You need to go to a wedding, you can throw on a jacket on top of your professional stuff with Roan also. Mobility is everything. Roan offers that with their 4-way stretch fabric. You're not going to get stiff or uncomfortable in the middle of your workday if you're rocking with Roan. Go check out Roan right now. It's roan.com/chatsports, RHONE.com/chatsports. That code chatsports gets you 20% off at checkout. I love that you can machine wash these clothes too, air dry them. Saves you money in the long run as well by not having to go to the dry cleaners. Check out Roan. Link is in the comments and the description. Okay, Kevin Warren, a little bit more on Ryan Poles here. He says, one thing about Ryan and I's working relationship is the fact that we're in this together. I know he's spending every single day thinking about not only that decision, but who to draft at number 9 and the current roster, what we're going to do in free agency, what we're going to do from contract negotiation standpoint. I'm sure he's already starting to play out the draft in his mind. We'll work together, but I have great trust and obviously in Ryan, Ian Cunningham, and all of our scouts. This is interesting for a lot of reasons because I think when Kevin Warren first got the job and, you would hear all these rumors of like, oh man, I mean, he may take a big swing and he may think this about a player, about a coach or whatever. And sure, he has influence. I don't think there's any doubt. Like, I don't think they, for example, kept Matt Eberflus. I don't think that was like 100% a Ryan Poles decision. I think there was collaboration, but I think in the end, football decisions are Ryan Poles. Like he makes those decisions. He's not, leaning on Kevin Warren to have heavy influence. I think there's collaboration. Kevin talked about how they're side by side. Their offices are just right next to each other in one hallway. So yes, they have a lot of close conversations, but Kevin Warren's not watching film of Caleb Williams and telling Ryan Poles what he thinks. Like that's not what it was. So the point of what I'm saying here is, yes, Kevin Warren really likes Justin Fields. I think Ryan Poles and Matt Eberflus do too. But if Ryan Poles comes to the decision he wants to draft a quarterback, he's going to. I mean, that's the bottom line. So that's just how I feel about the situation. And I think them being on the same page and having a good working relationship, Kevin kind of leans on Ryan. Like, he might give him a thought on something, but he's like, hey, man, you're in charge of football ops, so you go ahead and make that call, which you need that trust when it comes to making decisions like this. Speaking of, the big decision. He was obviously asked about, you've got this number 1 pick. What are you going to, do with it? What's going to happen? And here's what he had to say on Ryan Poles' big decision coming up. He said, we're in a very, very unique space and time in Bears history. You think of the draft Ryan made last year to get DJ Moore and turn that pick into drafting Darnell Wright and then Tyreek Stevenson, to get those young guys a chance to play, and then trading for Montez Sweat. Not only trade for him, but then extend him. If we can replicate back-to-back years, to really be smart about how we handle our draft capital this year, it could be a really special time for the Chicago Bears. Now, this quote has got Bears Twitter in a frenzy. If we can replicate last year, and I think a lot of Bears fans ran with that and said, they're trading down, they're keeping Justin Fields. And hey, they might. Again, I don't think that option is off the table at all. I took it more, and if you go watch the interview and really see the big picture of what he's saying, talking about how we did well in free agency in the draft and now we have assets to do that again, I think he's saying, hey, we had a great offseason last year. We went from a 3-win team to a 7-win team. If we can have another great offseason, this is a playoff team. That's how I took it. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm reading it incorrectly and I'm listening, more importantly, and looking at the body language incorrectly. But I think he's kind of just saying, like, hey, year 1 to year 2, good jump. We did some good things in the offseason. If we make the right decisions again, whether that is to trade down or whether that is to draft a quarterback or whatever, to sign certain guys, then we can take another step forward for 2024 and beyond. He knows this offseason is vital for this team's long-term success. So that's the way I took it. If you disagree, go ahead and let me know in the comments section. Be sure to subscribe to Bears Now by Chat Sports. These are some of our videos we've put out recently here on the channel. If you hit that subscribe button and go to the content tab, you can check out some of our recent videos. We're covering the latest rumors, news, trade buzz, free agency draft. Put out a mock draft on Tuesday if you want to go look at that. Let us know your feedback in the comments, but we would appreciate your support if you subscribe right now. It's 100% free to subscribe to Bears Now. All right, a couple more here. Make or break year for Flus? Maybe. I mean, it kind of feels that way. He said this in his end of season presser as well. He said, "Listen, we don't want to pull the plug too early on something," and he kind of reiterated that here. But I thought he said something interesting. He said, "You have to be impatiently patient," which I think is interesting. I just always felt it seems like even in businesses that year 3 is always that year you can determine, are we on the right track? I feel very strongly that we are on the right trajectory. It's going to be a critical year. For me, it's playoffs or bust for Flus. 3 wins, 7 wins. You can't take a step backward or stay in the mud. You got to go be a 10-win team and make the playoffs, right? Like, that's just how I view this situation. Now, are there circumstances if a quarterback gets injured? Could that change things? Sure, but I think Kevin Warren's mindset of bringing Matt Eberflus back was, okay, we did some good things. We definitely improved. And look, there's truth to that. You look at his tenure, they definitely got better. And after starting 0-4 last year, they went 7-6 the rest of the way. I would still say last year you underachieved in a lot of ways. You blew 3 games. You got swept by the Packers. I think you had a chance to be a playoff team and you didn't. But you still improved from the year prior. So I understand the thinking of, you're improving as a team. You don't want to make wholesale changes if you think you're on the right track. But at the same time, I think Kevin Warren, without saying it there, is kind of like, okay, we need to see even more improvement, and we got to find a way to close out some of these games we've been unable to do in these first 2 years. So it's a big year for Flus, critical year, as Kevin Warren put it. So I do think it's playoffs or bust. And pick a side. Do you agree with me? Do you think it's playoffs or bust? And if you think Flus should be fired if the Bears miss the playoffs in 2024, type Y for yes, he should. If you think, he should get a 4th year no matter what, type N for no. I think you got to be in the postseason next year if you're Matt Eberflus. Otherwise, probably looking for a new job. Keep it brief here, but of course, Jarrett asked Kevin about the latest on the stadium, how things are looking, why things have, apparently shifted from Arlington Heights back to the city. And Kevin Warren essentially said, he also asked what the timeline is. And Warren said, look, we're not rushing things, but we're making good progress. He expects sometime in the calendar year of 2024 that a location will be picked. Now, will a shovel hit dirt in 2024? That's hard to say. There's permits, all kinds of stuff you got to go through once you do pick a site and a location. If it is Arlington Heights, well, they've already cleared out that location. You mentioned that. That property is completely clean. So if they signed off tomorrow, they could probably start building within a month or two, I would imagine. If it's in the city, that could take a little longer, but he expects a location decision to be final here in the year of 2024. So that's exciting. This time next year, we should know where the Bears are going to be playing in the future for this franchise. So stay tuned for that. Seems like they're making pretty good progress. All right. Again, if you want to go watch the full interview, Jarrett did a great job. Link is in the description and comments of this video. Go click and watch it there. It's about 17, 18 minutes. I thought Jarrett did a great job getting some good answers out of Kevin Warren. And if you want to subscribe to Bears Now and support the program for free, we'll be back later this afternoon with another video. My name is Harrison Graham. We'll see you guys soon. Bear down.